Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Tim Jr. here with the Markland Advantage of Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Penn Fed Realty. Welcome to another episode. That's episode 13 of the TMA Real Estate Show. So glad you could join us. Our mission here is simple: to educate, serve, and protect you in the buying and selling process. Each week we break down a topic that's going to help you in the real estate market, and so today is a special day because for the longest time I've been trying to get this guest on the show and in front of the camera, and after many requests and comments and messages from you, finally we got the patriarch of the Markland Advantage. Tim Sr. is in the house. Ladies and gentlemen, Tim Markland Sr., thank you for joining us.
Thank you. I enjoy being here for episode number 13. How appropriate is that?
13. And so today, Senior is going to be discussing the things that you should be doing to prepare your home for the winter months. There's a lot that can be done, and in fact, he's created a 3-page document that can help you in preparing your home. But today, we're just going to break down a few things. All right?
All right.
You ready to get started?
Ready to go.
All right. So the first thing that we're going to talk about, maybe like a tip or two, we're talking plumbing. How can we prepare our plumbing for the winter months?
First thing you can do is disconnect your hose from the outside hose bib, or you might call it a spigot. But take off the hose, drain that hose out, take it inside, find the shut-off valve that's inside of your home, and turn that off, and that way you can then reopen the hose bib outside, drain that water out so you don't have a freezing line during the winter months. It may be you can't find the spigot right away. We found them under this kitchen sink, so be creative when you're looking for it.
All right, very good. It's good to be prepared. So we're going into number 2, which is gutters and downspouts. I know for me today it's 60 degrees out. I need to get up on my roof. Why are gutters and downspouts so important?
Over the time, especially with the autumn, you have a lot of leaves fall off of trees, and it gathers in the gutters. They go to the downspout, they get caught up, and during the freezing conditions, you can have what's called ice damming. And it is damming because you can cause a lot of damage, that you'll have the water overflow down to the foundation, and you'll have more problems. The downspout, you want to make sure that it goes down and properly drains out from the house. You have these slabs that might get hit when you were doing lawn mowing during the year. If you have a problem with some drainage, you may want to put an extension hose on it to keep the water away from the house.
Yeah, one of the big things we find in home inspections when we're working with our buyers is just that simple fix of taking one of those extension tubes and getting it, directing the water away from the house.
That's right.
So we don't want water in the basement. So let's go on to number 3, which is kind of talking about gutters and downspouts, but we're talking about the roof. There's some things we can do with the roof as well.
Okay, as far as the roof, you want to be checking to see it, make sure your shingles are there. Make sure there's no loose ones. I don't recommend getting up on a ladder unless you feel comfortable with it. I prefer myself using a pair of binoculars to check the roof, and then if there's a problem, having a roof professional come in and fix them. Get the kid with the drone in the neighborhood, bring the drone up, scan the roof, and make sure that the roof shingles are all straight and there.
That's a fantastic tip right there. So next we're going on to number 4. We're talking heating and cooling, the HVAC. What's a tip or two that we can prepare for the winter months?
First off, you may not have run your heat already, although we had a November snowstorm. But check the heat, make sure that it comes on. Get a programmable thermostat. Some of the older thermostats they're not energy efficient. And get a programmable one. You can sometimes work out a deal with a local utility company to get a rebate because you've used that thermostat. Also, you want to check your furnace filter. Make sure that the filter is clean. It should be changed every 30 to 60 days. If you have a reusable one, you can clean that out and put it back in. If you buy one, make sure the arrow points in the right direction.
Seen that one.
Yeah. So That's very important, because if you have a dirty furnace filter, it's not efficient.
It's not running efficiently. It's got to work harder, and then as it works harder, it's going to probably break down sooner.
Yeah, and check too your vents to make sure that they are secure. Good old duct tape. That's one of the things you should have in your toolbox at home. Duct tape any openings, and makes your system more efficient too.
Yeah. Now we're going to jump into our fifth category, which is doors and windows. What's a tip or two that we can focus on?
Have them. We need to have doors and windows. And when you do have the doors, make sure that they're not drafty. A lot of times, especially when replacement doors are put in, there's cracks around the edges that should be filled with caulk. If it's a thick space, then use the spray foam that insulates your doors. You have a storm door. A lot of times during the summer, you've had a screen in there. Get the window out of the garage or the basement and put that in the door. As far as windows go, that's really a critical one, because a lot of heat escapes through those windows, and the cold air comes in. Caulking around the window frames can really save you a lot of money. And also too, making sure that the windows fit properly as your storm windows are in. A lot of times people will take their screens out during the winter, especially if they go and put their wreaths out for the holidays. So it's good to make sure everything is working, fitting properly caulked.
So going along with doors and windows, we can also save some energy with insulation. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Absolutely. Especially in the attic. There's a lot of energy lost through the attic. Make sure that your attic is properly insulated. Consider even getting someone in to put the blown insulation in. It's very easy. A lot of folks have put plywood up in their attic to store things. I don't recommend that at all, because you lose a lot of energy there. At the very most, maybe some Christmas decorations up there in the attic. That's it. Keep it well insulated. And where your opening is in the attic, take an extra piece of insulation and put it over that to keep that cold, prevent that cold from coming into your living space.
Yeah, awesome. All right, so now let's jump to the next category. All right, fireplace and chimneys.
Oh, big one.
Santa Claus is coming this season, but we got to make sure that we have a good fireplace and chimney. Talk to us a little bit about
Some
that.
things that you can do is to make sure your damper is working properly. The damper is the flap in there that keeps the cold out. You want to make sure that it's probably been closed during the summer months. Make sure that's open so that your fire and carbon monoxide doesn't come back into the house. You can check too to make sure the mortar joints and the box aren't cracked. If you see cracks in the mortar joints and the fireplace bricks, do not operate it. It's dangerous. It's a fire hazard. You should have your fireplace and chimney checked annually by a professional. We have plenty of qualified folks who can check that for you. Checking the chimney cap, making sure that's proper, that you don't have a lot of water coming down in there that's going to cause damage to the house. But fireplace safety is very important. Making sure that you have the proper tools, making sure you have the screen. Because children, love fire, and they'll get close and they'll get burned. And so we don't want any injuries. Don't want to see in the aegis during the winter months.
Absolutely. So. We've covered a lot, and certainly there's a lot of services that are out there that people can help you with, especially recommend that having a lot of this stuff done by a professional. So if you don't know somebody in one of these fields, we can certainly recommend, or if you have another real estate agent, real estate agents work with a lot of these people. We can kind of help guide you in the right direction, giving you a few names and recommendations for that as well. One of the last things is going to be the outdoors. So what's something that we can focus on in the outdoors to prepare for winter.
Okay. Grills. You may grill during the winter time, and that's great. Have a cover for your grill. If you bring your grill in, make sure that you disconnect your propane tank, and then leave the stove line. Leave your propane tank outside when you bring your grill inside, because you don't want a fire hazard in there. As far as fuels for your snow blowers, find a place outside for your gas can. Outdoor furniture really takes a beating with the winter ice and snow. Either cover them or bring them in.
So with all these things that we're talking about, some of them certainly there's a level of safety that there's concern with. But of everything that we're talking about, of everything that's on this handout that you've created, what do you think is like the one thing that people need to focus on that they're probably not focusing on that much?
I think probably the biggest thing is you're going to be doing some things that you normally don't do during the year. I discourage people getting up on ladders if they're not used to them, or having somebody there to help them. If you're checking your smoke detectors, which, hey, your battery should have been changed when the time changed. If you haven't done it then, do it now.
Right.
But that being careful there, asking for help, your neighbors, professionals, getting help with some of these things. When the snow hits and it's time to shovel, making sure that your shovel is good. If it's not, now's the time to check. Buy yourself a new shovel. Make sure that it fits you, that you're not getting a shovel that you're going to be going way down. They got so many different ones. Test them out. Talk to the folks at the stores. Pick one that's going to work for you. Those because those are very important. You don't need to be injuring yourself. Protect yourself against hypothermia. If you go outside, drink plenty of water. You don't want to be off to the hospital. We want you to spend a nice holiday season at home. There you go.
And I'll tell you what, if there's anybody that's the king of preparedness, it's Senior here. He's just on top of all that, and that's why he has created this nice little checklist of things that you should be preparing for the winter season. Again, a lot more in depth than what we've covered here today, but if you would like a copy of this, all you have to do is either comment or send us a message through social media or email us at the Markland Advantage, and we will send this right to you. And it will definitely help you in the winter season. I gotta say thank you. It only took 13 episodes to finally get Senior on. Thank you so much for joining us on the Real Estate Show today, and we need to get you back on here sooner.
All right, it's my pleasure. Y'all have a good day.
There you go. So you've heard it right here. Thank you so much for joining us. If you want to follow us on Facebook or Instagram, we are at the Markland Advantage. You can also follow us on Twitter and Snapchat at TMA Real Estate. And of course, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can follow all future episodes.
Or you can give us a phone call.
Or you can give us a phone call. The office number 410-515-5300. And if you or someone you know is looking to buy or sell a home now or in the coming year, please share this information with them and the Markland Advantage name. The word of mouth is the best marketing. And until next time, live your life to the fullest, and we'll see you soon. Our next tip, we're kind of is. I'm sorry.
Okay. We're going to get through this. I'm not the only one.
Oh wow! I screw up more than anybody.
Preparing your home for the winter safely.